All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about Bitfarms, stock ticker BITF. Bitfarms put out their monthly operational report today. There's a lot of information in here. They've actually got a new format that I like a lot. They're providing some additional information that I've been calculating on my own in the past and trying to share on this channel. I see now some companies starting to provide this in their monthly updates, so that is good. So we talk about Bitcoin and the miners all the time on this channel, among other things. So if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, that has been helping the channel out a lot, so I really appreciate it. Lastly, you can hit the join button and become a member of the channel. We have some extra content for members only, and we have a members only live stream every Tuesday after the market closes. We also have a live stream for everybody every Friday after the market closes, so we hope to see you at both of those. Okay, let's talk about Bitfarms. So if I take a look at where Bitfarms is at right now, they're trading at $1.06. This is very, very near their lows. Their low this summer was $1.04. They actually took that out last week and got down to $1.01. So this stock is very, very close to $1. I know there's a lot of people worried it's going to go under $1, do a reverse stock split. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but I will tell you it is my opinion none of that is going to happen. I do not believe there's a reverse stock split ahead for Bitfarms, but time will tell, and that's for another video. Bitfarms is at $1.06. That leaves them at a $214 million market cap. If we go back to a chart of their market cap over time, you'll see they peaked in November of 2021, so that was 10 months ago. They were a $1.35 billion company. They're now a $215 million company. A lot of times the stock price can change and the market cap may not be changing based on dilution or other things like that, but I want to show people in this instance, the reduction, when we look at the charts, the reduction in the stock price, this corresponds to the reduction in the market cap. They went from $1.35 billion to $250 million. That's a drastic reduction in the course of less than 1 year. Now, it's not inconsistent with the rest of the Bitcoin mining companies. All of the Bitcoin miners have been beaten up in a similar way. However, Bitfarms is retesting its summer lows. There are other Bitcoin miners that have already taken out their summer lows. Bitfarms provides September 2022 production and mining operations update. 3,733 Bitcoin mined in the first 9 months of 2022. That exceeds the full year of 2021 production. So production is up year over year. Bitfarms is one of the companies that has been mining Bitcoin for a while, so they have some year-over-year comparisons, but they have had massive, massive growth in their exahash and in their Bitcoin mined. 3,733 Bitcoin mined, I think, is going to make them second overall out of all the publicly traded Bitcoin miners. There's one or two others that had mined Ethereum throughout the year that in Bitcoin equivalents may be very near or above them. But I think Core Scientific is number one, Bitfarms is number two. Achieved September 30th, 2022 target of 4.2 exahash. So they've been saying for the past several months that is their target for the end of September 30th. So they reached that. They are at 4.2 exahash right now. So again, that represents very strong growth all year this year from an exahash standpoint. The previous 2 months in a row, they've broken their all-time record for the number of Bitcoin mined in a month. So that was in July and then again in August. Now, there was a big difficulty adjustment in the month of September. So let's see what their September numbers look like. Accomplishing a significant milestone in early September, we initiated production in Argentina with our first 10 megawatt module, said Jeff Morphy, president and COO of Bitfarms. As of September 30th, we have installed 1,751 miners at this location and have pending 3,000 miners at Argentina Customs slotted to add to production throughout Q4 of 2022. So you can see they're just getting going in Argentina. This is a new facility. It's going to be done in many, many stages. They just did 10 megawatts of the first 50 megawatt facility. They have a second 50 megawatt facility, and I think they have an option for a total of 200 megawatts before they're done. They were going to get that 200 ramped up much faster than this. They've dialed their expectations back, as have all of the Bitcoin miners other than CleanSpark. All the Bitcoin miners have reduced their expectations for 2022 and early 2023. Okay, reached 4.2 exahash. We achieved our September 30th, 2022 target operating hash rate, said Ben Gagnon, chief mining officer of Bitfarms. During September, we mined 481 Bitcoin, averaging 16 Bitcoin mined per day, and exited the month at 17 Bitcoin mined per day. So that's 481 Bitcoin in the month of September. Now, I'm going to compare that to last month. On this channel, we always compare month over month, because obviously quarter over quarter and year over year, these are all high growth companies. We expect them to be beating last year's numbers by a lot. But we want to see is their sequential growth month over month. So if I look back at the August update, you'll see mined 534 Bitcoin at an average of 17.2 Bitcoin per day. 534 Bitcoin a month was their all-time record. That's the second month in a row they had beaten their all-time record. So this month they are now down to 481. Our increased capacity continues to deliver growth even while network difficulty increased as much as 13%. So this is the big thing. The network difficulty, there's an adjustment every 2 weeks, and the last several adjustments in a row have been up and up and up. So it's up about 13% over the last month. The previous adjustment that we just got was actually a reduction of 2%. So we'll see how October goes. And then, of course, September has 30 days versus 31 days. So that also makes up for a portion of the gap as they're mining 16 or 17 Bitcoin a day. That 481 would have been pretty close to 500 if the month had 31 days. So Bitfarms has been a very good litmus test for the rest of the Bitcoin mining industry. They always put their operational report out first. This year, they've been operating at an extremely high level. So these have pretty much all been, in my opinion, excellent operational reports. So they've been a good leading indicator of what's to come from the rest of the Bitcoin mining companies. Okay, then they say with 229 megawatts planned to be developed by the end of the year, we are well positioned to further grow production in 2023. So now I'm going to go through their numbers. They give us a new chart here. Okay, so this is a new presentation and I like this a lot. It's a lot of additional information and it makes life a little bit easier to digest what's going on with their company here. And they're providing some information they have not previously provided. So you can see September was 481, August was 534, and then a year ago, September was 305. Monthly ending operational hash rate, 4.2. That's up from 3.9 the previous month. So despite the fact that production was down a little, they did continue their growth and increase their exahash to 4.2. That 13% increase in difficulty level accounts for the difference. Bitcoin mined per exahash, so that's a chart that I've done monthly. So they are now providing that information. Last month in August, that was 141. That was an outlying number. That was a high number. That was one of the highest numbers for any Bitcoin miner all year this year. This month, it's 122. That's a little bit more down to earth. 130 has been an excellent target number. So I've been looking for companies at 130 or above, but with the difficulty level increasing the way it did, we may need to lower our expectations on that a little bit. Operating capacity, 176 megawatts. Hydropower megawatts, so 166 of the 176 are hydropower. So I think that's important. They're now disclosing on a monthly basis their sources of energy. So we know they're using natural gas for the other 10 megawatts. Watts per terahash efficiency, September was 40. August was also 40, so that remained the same. September of 2021 was 45. So they have gotten more efficient year over year on watts per terahash. So that helps reduce the cost of Bitcoin. They then sold 544 Bitcoin. That is more than they mined. Last month they sold 427, which was a little bit less than they mined, but they have been using their Bitcoin to fund operations and pay down their debt. So we're going to go through that a little bit as well. Real quick, here's a few slides from their investor presentation. They updated this September 29th. So even though that was just a few days ago, it does not include this morning's press release. But you'll see this is their targeted expansion. So September 30th, 2022, they were targeting 4.2. Well, now we know they released this today and said that they did achieve this 4.2. So the next thing they're looking for is by the end of the year to be at 6.0 exahash. So that's their expectation. They've already bought all those machines, so they have been pretty much spot on all year. So I expect that to occur. We can look for growth in the fourth quarter from 4.2 to 6.0 exahash. Okay, this one was important. I just wanted to show this one sentence. Continued to generate positive cash flow from mining operations, even with Bitcoin prices as low as $20,000. So their adjusted EBITDA was 45%. That's a little lower than it's been in the past, but obviously Bitcoin is at a multi-year low right now. And the point of this is that they are generating cash flow at these numbers. So that's crucial. Their cost per coin is somewhere, they report somewhere around $9,900. To me, it looks like a little bit more than that, maybe 10 or 11,000. But either way, that's still a big margin margin versus the 19 or 20,000 that Bitcoin's been hovering around for the last several months. Then just to address their balance sheet a little bit, I wanted to go through, at June 30th, they had $38 million left on their line of credit. So they took a $100 million line of credit out. They've been paying it down all year this year. As of June 30th, which was the last financial statements that they gave, they were at $38 million remaining. So they did give an update. In July, they reduced the credit facility to $23 million. So we're going to have to look to see what the terms of that line of credit are because it was expiring soon. So we'll see if they're just going to finish paying that off or restructuring it. But this is where some of their Bitcoin money is going. They're not only paying for operations, but they've continued to pay down their debt. Now that we've gone through how Bitfarms is performing operationally, I want to take a look at how their stock is performing. So I want to go through these charts and look at some numbers and give some target prices. Please remember, this is not financial advice. You guys need to do your own due diligence. The Bitcoin mining companies are highly volatile. You'll see there's massive swings, and a lot of these companies are down 90% or more than 90%. So please be very careful when investing in the Bitcoin mining companies. Okay, this is Bitfarms on the one-day time frame. We're a little bit zoomed in. This green line goes back to May of 2022, and this green line goes back to August 15th of 2022. So they're currently, right now as I'm speaking, they're trading at $1.05. Their low from the summer was $1.04. Again, they took that out a few days ago and got down to $1.01. So they are bouncing along the bottom, retesting their low. It seems to be holding. Yeah, they've taken it out by a few pennies, but you can see they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row into having this low hold for them. So this does seem to be presenting a line of support for them. In my opinion, this represents Bitfarms being massively oversold. But again, this is not financial advice. You guys need to come to that conclusion. There's no telling whether we've hit the bottom or not. So there's always downside risk. But at the moment, their summer lows seem to be holding as support. I'm going to go back to September 12th. So that was just 3 weeks ago. If Bitcoin can get a little bit healthy and get on a little bit of a relief rally, I think these price targets I'm talking about are more than reasonable. So that would be a 42% increase just to get back to where they were 3 weeks ago. If I go back a month and a half to their peak on August 15th, and again, Bitcoin had run up to about $25,000 at that point. So we're just a little over $19,000 right now. So we're around $6,000 away from that. So that's actually a 122% increase in the price of Bitfarms stock. So that to me, again, is also a very realistic price target. And these are more short-term price targets than long-term price targets at this point. And by short-term, you know, that could mean up to 90 days. The last number I'm going to look at, and I could go on, if they can get back to where they were trading in May Bitcoin was up around $39,000. So, you know, if Bitcoin could get back into the low to mid 30,000s, I do think that this May price at $3.21, that's still a very low realistic price target. So even if you want to consider that a 1-year price target, to me, I think that's extremely realistic. And that's 205% increase in the price of their stock. So that's basically a triple in the price of their stock. There are points higher than that because they've spent most of the last year and a half, even much higher than this, but I'm not going to go any further than that. This would represent an extremely healthy recovery in Bitcoin, somewhere in that $30,000 to $35,000 range, in my opinion. And, you know, even if this takes some time over the next 1 to 2 years, these are all very healthy returns. So obviously none of this is guaranteed. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and understand your own risk tolerance because this is all a risk-reward equation. So that's what I got for you on Bitfarms and their monthly update for the month of September. Definitely many more monthly updates to come. All the rest of the miners will be putting their updates out over the next week and a half, so I'll be doing a video on the vast majority of those. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thanks.